Today, folks, this has got to be one of the craziest stories that I've ever come across. If you've never heard of Truong My Lan, she just got sentenced to death for financial frauds in the tens of billions of dollars. I mean, I think the total cost of her crimes, because she's Vietnamese, was like 3% of the total GDP of Vietnam. Like, I'm shocked that they sentenced her to death, and we're gonna just abbreviate through this, talk about her past, a little bit of her history, because she looks like such a sweet lady. She looks like you'd be your grandmother. I mean, it's just nuts to see this. So I just want to read this, then I'm just, like I said, we're gonna take a look at actually some of the video footage, and then I just want to read through her history, because how she this is movie worthy crap, and I'm just not hearing a lot of people talk about it. So basically, Vietnamese property tycoon sentenced to death in $27 billion fraud case. This is so extensive, but basically Truong My Lan, the chair and developer of basically Van Thing Pha, which was found guilty of embezzlement, bribery, and violation of banking rules on Thursday in a case that has shocked the country. A total 12.5 billion was embezzled, the equivalent of 3% of the Vietnamese gross domestic product. But prosecutors said on Thursday the total damages caused by the scam now amount to 27 billion. The defendant's actions eroded people's trust in the leadership of the Communist Party and state. Basically, read verdict at the trial in Ho Chi Minh, if I'm saying that correct, the city there. But basically, Lan was found guilty of swindling money from basically commercial bank SCB over a decade. She had been on trial alongside 85 others, including the formal central bankers and government officials, as well as previous SCB executives. The trial is part of a national corruption crackdown led by the Secretary General of the Communist Party of Vietnam. Basically, the campaign, which is also known as the Blazing Furnace and has increased in recent years, has led to the basically indictment of thousands of people, as well as the resignation of 2 presidents and 2 deputy prime ministers because of this lady. She's like grandma. She's running like one of the biggest crime syndicates imaginable. I mean, it's so crazy. Anyways, Lan, who has been arrested in October 2022, had denied the charges. A relative told Reuters before the verdict that she would appeal. The death sentence is an unusual severe punishment for a corruption case this scale. Holy crap. State media reported last week that Lan told the court she had joined the banking industry without sufficient experience and blamed a lack of understanding of legal matters. This scale, come on. It's like, what is it? I will get into it. Basically, she thought that she basically thought of death in desperation and asked for the court's leniency for her husband, a Hong Kong businessman, and a niece who were on trial as accomplices. The verdicts announced on Thursday followed 5-week trial that basically had been covered in great detail in the Vietnam's tightly controlled state media. Documents related to the trial kept in 105 boxes weighed 6 tons, according to Vienna Express, which reported the authorities had installed security cameras and fire safety equipment to protect the evidence ahead of the hearing. More than 1,000 properties belonging to Lan have been seized, and nearly 2,700 individuals were summoned to the trial, which include 200 lawyers. I mean, if you guys want to see a little bit of insanity here, I mean, she was accused of setting up fake loan applications to withdraw money from the bank over a period of 11 years from 2012 to 2022. The loans accounted for 93% of the total credit the bank, 93% of the total credit the bank had issued, according to the state media. To cover up the fraud, Lan and other SCB bankers were accused of giving the state officials $5.2 million, the largest bribe according to Vietnam, and the money was handed over in basically styrofoam boxes, which is crazy. A former chief banking inspector at the State Bank of Vietnam said during the trial. Nathan said that after realizing the boxes contained money, she refused the boxes, but that Lan declined to take them back, state media reported. Since 2021, thousands of people have been indicted for the corruption. Yeah, we get it. This is the lady here, though. Let me take a quick peek at this. I just speed through this a little bit. Look at this. I feel like I'm watching some kind of unreal movie. Like, this is crazier, in my opinion, than like SBF. Like, the whole Sam Bankman-Fried, collapse of is just nothing even close to this. Yeah, it was a huge financial crime, but this is like major banking institutions. This would be like if Sam Bankman-Fried was bribing like J.P. Morgan. I mean, like, this is next level crap. Let's skip through this quick. The death penalty, man. Yeah, I mean, you get the idea. The numbers they're throwing around are all over the place. This is just a 6 minute video kind of highlighting just some of the facts. Let's read some of these comments quick. How many lives has she destroyed? I think all millionaires and billionaires should be thoroughly investigated by an objective third party. First billionaire to ever be found accountable for their actions. It's true. I mean, at least 44 billion was stolen, 27 of that was recovered. So let's just take a look here, because I think the history is what's really fascinating. If we just kind of read into this in her career, basically, Lan originally owned a business for hair accessories, which is interesting. Using the connections to the communist regime led her to enter the real estate business in 1992. She founded and basically chaired the board of directors of Van Typhat Group, a real estate firm for luxury residential buildings, offices, hotels, and shopping centers, and also financial services. From 2012 to 2022, Lan controlled she controlled SCB, this Vietnamese largest bank by assets in Ho Chi Minh here. SCB was established in 2012 from the merger of three banks facing bankruptcy in 2011. Nevertheless, the Vietnamese central bank allowed the merger of these three banks with Lan continued control through more than 24 middlemen and 93% of the loans going to her company and associated shell companies. Unbelievable. I gotta make movies out of this stuff. 2022 arrest. Lan was arrested on October 6, 2022 after years of investigation. According to the Vietnamese government, she was accused of illegally issuing bonds worth tens of millions of US dollars in 2018 and 2019 and using 916 fake loan applications to appropriate more than 304 million, going to about 12.5 billion US. Basically from a joint stock commercial bank, of which she owned 90% of the shares from the 9th of February 2018 to the 7th of October 2022. After three SCB employees committed suicide on 6, 9, and 14th of October, a bank run ensued. The arrest and trial were considered part of the anti-corruption policy of leader. So again, paying off these political leaders. We know the 2024 trial has led to this insanity of her being charged. Her personal life. Lan is married to Eric, a businessman in real estate sector of Hong Kong. In March 2024, the husband was also summoned to trial, as well as her niece, which was 34 years old and the CEO of the property management firm. Lan's family is one of the richest families in Vietnam. Lan embezzled about 12.5 billion, equals about 3% of the Vietnamese total GDP. In March 2024, her niece, who had lived with her since childhood, admitted that she established 52 shell companies and 4 regular companies to obtain these 155 loans. Whew, baby. We gotta, oh man, just this poor grandmother. Look at her. Look at this sweetheart. Could you friggin' imagine this? I just, unbelievable. What do you guys think of this? This is probably one of the craziest financial crimes I've ever read in my life.